Jonathon and Wani with NEAL MORSE. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. I'm doing well. So you're about halfway through the current tour. So how's it been going?
Really good. Really good, yeah. It's been amazing, actually. A lot of sold-out shows. And just the band's hit a real stride. I don't know. It seems like every show's been great. I can't think of... There wasn't one time when we came off and went, wow, that was really rough. Was there, Eric? I don't think there was. It was like...
good.
It's just been killer. And the crew's been great. And the road wears on me a little bit. I get a little tired. But other than that's just normal.
Yeah. Well, that actually leads into the next question. You've been doing the new album, The Similitude of a Dream, in its entirety, every single night.
Yeah.
Plus more. How do you keep it up night after night, week after week?
Well, that's playing actually, and singing for the most part that's been the easy part.
Okay.
That hasn't been really the hard part. The harder part seems to be just the traveling.
Waiting.
Like we're sleeping on a bus. I don't think it's sort of like sleeping on an airplane or something. It counts for half, maybe. Right? That's how I think of it. It's like you sleep 6 hours on a plane. Maybe it feels like you got 3 hours.
Right.
Of rest. I don't know. It's a little bit like that on a bus. It's just weird. I sleep, but I just don't feel quite the same. I don't feel quite right. I don't know what it is.
No, that's not surprising.
But anyway, it's just normal. That's normal road stuff. I'm not complaining. So. My son says, "Man, you're out there. You're living the dream, man. Getting to play your music for people that love it all over the world." And of course, he's right. It's great.
And you've been living the dream for 25 years. How long now?
Oh, I don't know. It's been I took quite a long time when I didn't play live. Between 2002 and 2008, or there's been quite a few years where I didn't do much. So I'm enjoying it though.
So Prague has a history of bands performing all of a new album. Do you think that just goes with the territory? Is it just what you prefer?
Well, this album is a special album, and it to me it's one continuous piece. And I know a lot of people think of it more in terms of separate songs, but if you watch it, I think if you experience it tonight, the flow of it is one continuous thing. And I don't know. I'm really trying to really soak up all that I can from this, because I don't know if we'll ever do it again like we're doing it now. And I think it really cries out to be played in its entirety.
Okay. So can you elaborate? The background is from Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, of course. Is the reason you chose that instead of because there's so many classical pieces of Christian literature over the past years? What drew you to that so much?
Well, somebody had suggested it to me, and it just came to my mind one morning when I was, having some ideas, and I was sitting at the piano, and I didn't have the book, so I looked up the notes on Google, and I just looked at it, and I'd never actually read the book, so I was just looking at it, and I started to just jot some things down, and like, oh, what would that sound like? What would that sound like? And then I presented those voice memos from my phone, actually, to the other guys in January, and then we started to kind of work on it a little bit, and I still wasn't sure if it was something we should do as a band, or maybe I should do it as another project. I didn't know, but as they began to bring their ideas to it, and it began to take shape, and we started to sing some of the stuff together, and I was like, okay, we got to do this. So it was a process.
Okay. So the question is lyrically. Obviously, a lot of it comes from themes from the book. However, you get a song like "Shortcut to Salvation," which is about taking the easy way, and it seems, even though it's from the book, very applicable to a lot of modern churches in the modern world. Was that purposeful or just how it came out?
It's just how it came out. But I'm surprised. No one's ever asked me about that before. I'm glad you clued into that. Well, I mean, it is an interesting thing, and some of the stuff in the book, it was written in a different time.
Right. Well, yeah.
And some of it, the book is pretty hardcore. I mean, it's pretty fundamentalist.
Yeah. Like, it is Puritan.
And so, it's Puritan, and so I added actually a lot of mercy Like,
yeah.
for example, in The Man in the Iron Cage, I don't think that there's a lot of mercy in the book for the Man in the Iron Cage.
Not much, no.
I think I put it in there because that's how I feel. I mean, it's the mercy and love of God that is exciting. You know, that's what draws us. You know, I don't think people may, you know, if they're, you know, you might be able to control people with fear, but you're not really going to get the love and.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Jonathan Edwards sermons these days.
Anyway, so yeah,
okay.
I do think that that's an appropriate message, and I'm glad you clued into that.
Well, there's the Christian walk, both in the book and real life, is generally not that easy, and you've been very, very honest with your struggles and things, both testimony albums. I mean, even talk about issues with your daughter's heart problems and things, which is about as honest as it gets. Do you feel a kinship to a Christian's journey and story, or is it just those are themes that you've gone back to?
Yeah, no, I could, as
write.
I was reading through the book, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I could relate to. You know, there's times, there's people I thought, you know, like the whole thing that happens with Pliable and Obstinate in the book.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm always really touched about how his friend at the first sign of trouble basically leaves, and he's left there on his own. You know, and his friend left him there without even saying goodbye. Every night I'd sing that. There's something about that really touches me. You know, I've been through some situations where I thought maybe people were going to go ahead with me, and maybe they didn't, and. You know, those things happen. You just got to go on with the Lord, and but yeah, there's a lot of it that I really relate to and really feel. I think we all do. I mean, we're all on some kind of a journey with God, and my hope for this album that people would find themselves in the story wherever they are, and you know, take the next step, whatever that is for them.
Okay. So, over the years, you've been doing your solo stuff for a while now. Have you gotten much feedback from the Christian music scene for doing more secular type music,
Not
or
much.
are you so far removed that it doesn't even?
I'm pretty far removed.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know if I show up on their radar.
I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Do you have any desire to ever in the future past, or?
Well, I've
Have you doing your
written
thing?
some worship albums. I've written some albums that are, you know, more, you know, mainstream Christian sort of things, but I don't know, they haven't gotten very much attention, and that's okay. I made them because it was in my heart to make them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the Lord does.
Yeah. So this is the second album of the NEAL MORSE Band. How is it different in a band setting as opposed to this when you were writing with you, George, and Mike?
Oh, well, I mean, there's a lot more cooks in the kitchen, you know, and it's cool. We're kind of bringing their gift, whatever that is. Everybody has a different gift. You know, some have more, you know, like real direct compositional kind of gifts. Others are more gifted in kind of arranging and gleaning out the best parts and fitting them together, and it's just a meeting of the minds, and it's the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
So you've been working with Mike since the Transatlantic days. How has that evolved? Is it different in a band setting as opposed to your solo stuff, or is it pretty much the same, no matter?
It's a little bit different. You know, I mean, now that it's the NEAL MORSE Band, there's more involvement. I think before, you know, when Mike was working on my solo album, a little bit more like, he was always involved and always offered up his opinion. But now that it's a band thing, it's definitely more of a, you know, democratic process.
Okay.
I get outvoted more.
Oh.
Before it was my thing. I couldn't get outvoted.
Right.
You know, if I really wanted something a certain way, I could just put my foot down and do that. And with the band, you can't do that. If you get outvoted, you kind of just gotta eat it.
Okay.
You know. Well, what you do is you trust. You trust
the system of the people.
Yeah.
So you got good people working with you.
Yeah.
So it's been 15 years since you've left Spock's and done your own thing. Did you ever see it going this far? And I mean, this album seems kind of a culmination, where do you go from here? Do you go up from here? Can you go up from here?
I don't know, but God has no limits. I remember thinking, where do we go from here after the Light album? I definitely felt that way. After there was a lot of albums that I felt like, wow, what can you possibly do after this? I think I felt that way after Question Mark and Sola and Whirlwind and a lot of records. But there's no shortage. That's the amazing thing about God, is that there is no cap. There's an infinite amount of melodies. There's an infinite amount of great music. I mean, a lot of times my prayer is, Lord, give me whatever it is that you want to say now. What do you have? What music? what music is playing in heaven right now? And so it'll never end. If God keeps giving, then we'll keep playing.
Okay. So how's the work for the new Flying Colors? I think there's some pictures online.
Oh, good.
Is the
Great.
recording starting on any of that, or do you know when?
Just
or
roughs.
Just roughs.
We haven't started. I think we need to write a few more. We came close, but I think we need a few more pieces before we kind of start really laying it all down.
Right. Is it a bit less stressful not being the face of that as a lot of the other stuff, or doesn't it matter?
It's different. It's different. It's just writing with Casey in mind is actually really enjoyable. It's just different. I woke up one morning down there in Florida and with just this thing in my mind about Casey's. He's so vibey. I just love his voice and his vibe and everything. And so I was, writing for that and getting ideas for that, and it's really exciting.
Okay. All right, well, I only have one last question. If you could pick two albums, a solo and a group one, which two would you save? If everything else was gone.
Oh my God. A solo album and a group
album.
Well, I'd probably take Similitude for the group one. And I don't think it's just because that's what we're all about right now. The one album.
One album?
For me, personally. Yeah. Like, you mean like Desert Island kind of thing?
Like if all your work was wiped out and you've got to save two. What would they? What would they be?
I'd take the one album.
Album.
Well, for me personally, it's Testimony or One.
Yeah.
Although I like all of them, but for me, the one album really speaks to me personally.
No, it's gorgeous work.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Phil Cage's a highlight on it as well.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, man.
Well,
thank you.
All right.
All right. God bless.
You too.